many of you know about Shane Hadley. This gentleman right here had to do real well in high school to get into Duke University. You have to make real well to get into Duke University. Listen to this now. He was first team All-American. Means he was the best of 5 players in the nation. He was academic All-American, which meant he was the top 5 best athletes in the country on grades. And he won a national championship. How about it? Isn't that something? I like being a champion. I like anybody that's a champion. I like a winner. I like to win. I like sports. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about sports because it's what you learn in sports you can apply in life. And all of you, I'm sure, know Michael Jordan. Did you know in the 9th grade, Michael Jordan was cut off the JV team? Yep. You see what Michael Jordan did? He ended up being the best player in the history of basketball. And I saw him play in high school. He was great. Now, I was reading in yesterday's paper about a young man who wants to go to Duke. It's in this article right here. And he's a junior in high school, which means he's about 16 years old. And I said, I wonder how he got that good. And I just what the answer was. And I read on in the paper. This young man's name is J.J. Rick. He's just a junior in high school, and Duke has already signed him now. He's going to be back next year for his senior year. He watched the 1992 national championship when Duke won it. And he watched it, and he memorized it, and he memorized it. And now he worked so hard from 1992 until this year. The coach, his own high school coach says, right now, there are not more than 5. Shavlik Randolph. 17 years old. He's 6'10", weighs 215 pounds. He gets over 50 letters a day from colleges wanting him to come play. My prediction is he's going to Duke. Now, see, here he is. Now, how did he get that good in basketball? Practice. Now listen to this. Here's what the article says. God certainly blessed him with height and natural talent, but God also blessed him with a heart and the desire to be the best that he can be. He was relentless with it. He's actually a prime example to people that hard work pays off. And the article goes on to say he practices and shoots the ball over 400 times a day. Now, boys and girls, that takes 3 or 4 hours. But he's a great athlete, he's a great student, and he's a great person. Now, I'm going to ask a couple of you to come up here with me. I'm just going to, you and you. Come up here and sit beside me. One more. Come on. No, you stay here. All right. You all right? All right. Listen to me. What do you want to be when you grow up? You know? Baseball player. All right. Who's your idol? Ken Griffey Jr. Are you practicing? How about your grades? You know how hard you have to work to be a professional baseball player? You have to really practice hard. Okay. What would you like to be when you grow up? Basketball. Who's your idol or model? Who? Kobe Bryant. Very good. Are you keeping your grades up? All right. Who helps you here in school? Is one of your teachers, your mom, anybody in your family, anybody helping you a lot? How about you? Other than them athletes, who really helps you a lot? Mom? What do you want to do when you grow up? Anybody in church before? All right. What would you like to be when you grow up? A teacher? Right. And who's your mom? All right. Who do you want to be like? Who said a good example? Miss Smith. Very good. Very good. Well, you see, one time I was about 11 years old. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. And in the 7th grade, I was cut from the basketball team. And it really upset me. But I practiced hard between the 7th and 8th grade. And next year I started off. And we won the state championship. Sure did. Long time ago. And we were 3rd in the state when I was in the 9th grade. We were 3rd in the state when I was in the 10th grade. And then we didn't make it my 11th grade when I was a senior. We were 3rd in the state. And I practiced hard just like these guys. And you have to do the same thing in sports, in whatever you're going to be doing, whether it's your grades or college or whatever. You sit here now and some of you don't know what you're going to be or want to be. I thought I was going to be a basketball coach when I was in college, but I got to hanging around with my brother who was in law school. And I said, that's mighty interesting. I think I'll try that. So I knew I had to improve myself academically. That is, would make sure I could pass the test to get into law school. So I said, I'm going to learn a new word every day. So every day, while I was in college, after my sophomore year, I learned a new word. 365 days a year, I learned a new word. And I got into law school and had no problem with it. Got out and it's been great. I enjoyed it very much. But there are a lot of people who have dreams. And as you sit here now, I am telling you, you can be whatever you want to be. All of us are not going to be great athletes. All of us are not going to be professional baseball players or professional athletes. But you will be surprised at what you can do if you work extremely hard. Now, I'm very close to the Clinton High School football program. And you know we had the #1 team in the state for a long, long time. Let me tell you why. Community support, great coaches, and athletes who understand their role on that team. Everybody can't be a superstar in Clinton, but everybody understands the role they play, what part they play. And most important, I have seen these names probably some of you know. L.C. Steve, Leonard Henry, who lives right across the street here, Jerry McPhail, Fuzzy Lee, on and on and on. Willie Parker, Brian Peterson, all of those athletes, and the greatest of those that went on to college, played athletics, have been the hardest workers. And let me tell you about Brian Peterson just a minute. In the middle of his sophomore season, he was brought up to Florida. We won the state championship. He was a sophomore. And Brian, in my opinion, was not a great athlete. He was a better than average athlete. He worked every day until he graduated from high school on his strength, quickness, and his grades, so to make sure he could get in. And he's a quarterback in high school, and he starts at wide receiver at North Carolina State. Willie Parker is a tailback at Carolina. James Faison is a walk-on from Clinton, going to be starting fullback. All of those guys have been role models. They work hard, and they have disciplined themselves. And at some point, you're going to come into someone that's maybe a teacher, maybe a coach, maybe your minister, or whomever. It's going to influence you on what you want to do. And if you're going to be a carpenter or a plumber or whatever, and a lawyer or whatever, hardest workers are the best ones. Now, I'm fixing to show you a little videotape, and it's going to last about 3 or 4 minutes. But I want you to be quiet. I'm going to tell you where this was in my backyard, our backyard, and that's my wife Diane videotaping over there. Because I'm going to have a videotape of all of you, and I can come back one day and say, that was the day you made up your mind you're going to be a hard worker in school. But this videotape happened about 1998. And I got some young people in my backyard, and I'm going to call them by name, and I want you to remember who they are, and then when we finish, I want to tell you what they've done since then, okay? So now be real quiet. Thank you. Okay? They're taking a break now. I'm still paying. That's me. All right, this is Ronnie. Ronnie, okay? This is Ronnie.
Oh yeah, and Chad.
Now, let me tell you about these little young people. Chad, my son, the one on the bicycle, is now 6'7". He's a senior at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. He's majoring in history. He's in the Beta Club in high school. And he's an excellent guitarist. loves to deer hunt. But while he was in high school, he played in 4 state championships in golf. And there they are his senior year, receiving the state championship in golf in North Carolina. He was one of the 5 players, and he averaged 76 that year playing. Now see, when he was sitting on that bicycle, I'm not sure he knew what he was going to do, but I knew one day he was going to be accomplishing something. He's good with his hands. He's a great guy, a good role model, and he's going to be a great citizen. I promise you that. Now, the next one, I believe, was Danielle. Danielle Parker grew up right across the street, first house on the right. Danielle is right here on this poster, North Carolina State University. Holds a master's degree in electrical engineering. Graduated from North Carolina State University in electrical engineering. Let me tell you what she did while she and Tanya were in high school. She is the all-time leading North Carolina Player of the Year. And she's a great gal, a tremendous role model. And folks, she came right through this school. And she sat right here where you sit. And she is one of the greatest women's athletes I've ever seen. And probably the best high school basketball player I've ever seen, along with Tanya Sampson. This is Tanya receiving the trophy for the national championship at the University of North Carolina in 1994. National champions. This is Tanya, right here. Now a professional basketball player, runs an insurance business and real estate business in off-season in Durham. In high school, played in 4 state championships, won 2 state championships, the leading rebounders, girls, in the history of North Carolina. Those 2 young ladies are #1 in sports. She had to do well to get in college, and she did. And she and her team were national champions. How about it? Now, one more.
Was she from here?
Oh, Tanya grew up on Royal Lane. You know it. Ronnie, young man raking the yard. This is Ronnie. Defensive tackle, Philadelphia Eagles. 5 years in the National Football League. Graduate, University of Cincinnati. Still playing professional football in XFL. You guys have seen that on TV. So let me tell you about those 4 young people. And as they sat there and as I walked around the yard, I didn't know what they were going to amount to, if anything. But I knew that we wanted to try to inspire them and try to make them the best they possibly could be. Out of those 4 kids, and now listen to this. Most importantly, all 4 of them, including my son, who will get his college degree this December, all 4 of them graduated from college. All 4 of them. Which meant they had to do well in high school, which meant they had to do well in all their grades coming up. They played in 9 state championships. And they won 3 state championships. 2 of these, Ronnie and Tanya, are professional athletes. 1 all-time leading scorer in North Carolina history, 1 all-time leading rebounder in North Carolina history, 2 all-state players, and 2 North Carolina Players of the Year, which were Tanya and Danielle. Now, you don't know what your dream is yet, and I don't either. But I want to show you one other young lady. Anybody guess who that is? It's my wife, Diane. Okay? Now there she is. I reckon she's about 3 or 4 years old. See, she didn't know what she was going to do then, but I'm sure soon later in life she had some dreams. And you know, there's nothing like being a champion. Nothing like being the absolute best. I love to play. I love competition. That's why I'm a lawyer. We have competition all the time. I love sports. And there's nothing like success. Nothing like being good. And this is Diane Later. Miss Goldsboro. How about that?
I didn't tell him.
She didn't know about this.
I didn't
That's
know
her.
I was on the
And
phone.
being good or being a champion in whatever you do makes you feel good. I have read over 10 history books in the last 2 months, maybe more than that. I have never stopped loving to learn, and my wife is the same way. We read everything, we talk about things, and she's my heart and soul. So I want to tell you that all of these experiences that I have had, I can tell you this: the great ones, the ones who want to be the professional athlete, the ones who are the best in whatever they do, there is absolutely no question about it, they are the hardest workers. All the kids that we have go to college, like Tanya Sampson, now guys, you're not going to believe this. She could take 150 pounds and bench press it 10 times. And half the Clinton High School boys can't do that. But she worked at her strength, and she became the best she could be. All right, now, what I want you to do is, I want you to, one of these days, somebody is going to, like a teacher, or one of your coaches, like Coach Squibb, you won't know it then, but you'll know later that they've had a real big impact in your life, like Miss Boynton. I know at times she wonders, well, not her son Jairus is going to ever make it, but I'm going to tell you he is. He's going to be great.
Full scholarship.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. How about that? He has character. He has qualities that are going to be good. He's going to be a good citizen. And she's really proud of him and has reason to. When you go home at night, work hard in your schoolwork. It takes it day by day, folks, day by day to become better. The thing you want to do is learn to follow your bliss. What do you mean by follow your bliss? All of us can't be great athletes, so you may end up being whatever. But whatever it is, do a great job at it. The thing in my business, when we go to court, a lot of times they make a witness raise his hand, his or her hand, and say, do you promise to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So I want you to do one thing with me. I want you all of you raise your hand. Your right hand like this now. Okay. And say, follow and say after me now. Okay? I pledge that I will work hard. And I will be the best I can be. Now, Miss Stacy, I have not taken the entire 45 minutes, but if any of you have any questions or anything, I'd love to answer some for you. Yes, sir. I can't hear you. Tanya Sampson is playing with the European team. She has played in France, in Israel, Spain, and Italy. And I'm not sure where she is right now, which team she is. Yes, sir.
What is your wife doing?
My wife is a real estate agent. She's a graduate of Campbell University. Good
Thank
question.
you. Thank
She'll
you
sell
for
your
asking.
house. Yes, sir. A lot. I've been involved in thousands. And it's not always winning and losing. It's trying to make the right things happen. A lot. I've been in it 33 years. Yes, sir.
My stepdad, he went to college with this dude named E. James, and he plays in pro football now.
Good.
But they went to college with each other, and he comes over my house, we play with us.
Good. What's his name?
E. James.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
You were in a court. Has any of your
I can't hear you.
has anybody gone to jail that you?
Oh, yes. Yes. I used to do criminal law. She asked me if anybody going to jail, I would represent lots of them. Lots of them. Yes. Yes, sir.
When you get somebody in court, and you know they done something wrong, and somebody tries to beat you, do they still have to pay the fine?
No. If your client is found not guilty, you don't.
What if they still do?
Well, most of the time, if the evidence is there, most of the time they're going to be found guilty. Sometimes people get out of charges that they're really guilty of, but not very often, really. All right. Yes, sir. Yes. I can't hear you.
How many years does it take to become a law?
Good question. I had to go to 4 years of undergraduate school at Carolina, and then I went 3 years and 3 months at Carolina Law School. Yes, sir.
Your son in the picture, which one was it?
Okay. My son is the tall one here in the middle. He's grown some since then. Because he's about that much taller than I am. All right. Yes, sir. I can't hear you. Is he rich? No, I'm not rich. I do well, though.
Have you ever been in a case where
Listen
somebody...
now.
Have you ever been in a case where somebody killed somebody and they weren't proven guilty?
Oh, yes. He asked if I'd ever been in a case where somebody killed somebody and they were not proven guilty. Yes, several times. Because you're charged does not necessarily mean you're guilty, but most people are found guilty or plead guilty. Yes, sir.
How much money do you make a case?
Oh, I don't do criminal cases anymore. Yeah. Listen now.
Give me a range of how much it costs to go to law school.
Good question. If you go to Duke or Campbell, it'll run somewhere between $25,000 and $30,000 per year.
But they can borrow the money.
Yeah, listen now, listen. You can get student loans to go. Yes, Miss Ron. Helping people. Helping people. Yes, sir. 33 years. Yes, sir. Stand up. Well, I did it for about 25 years, and I got so many. I handle automobile accidents now, and that's all I do. And there got to be so many of those that I had to give up one or the other. So I elected to do the automobile accidents. Yes, sir. Why do you want to become a lawyer? Why do I want to become a lawyer? I thought it was challenging, and I look forward to helping people. Helping people is the main thing. Yes, sir. That's what he just asked me. That's all right. He said, I said, because it was challenging, and basically because helping people, working with people. All I do is see people all day long most of the time. And a lot of them have bad problems. I just had a lady this morning whose father was killed, mother was killed the day before yesterday. Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes. Some of my clients get on my nerves. Absolutely. I'm sure some of you get on your teacher's nerves, too. Yes, ma'am. I can't hear you. Yes, very stressful. Most any job that is involves people is stressful. My wife's in real estate business. She'll tell you that's stressful. Anytime you're dealing with people, as opposed to just putting machinery down or a loading machine. Yes, sir.
If you have evidence that it's somewhere else, if you take the court off for a day and then on the next day go to that place where the evidence is.
Yes.
You need to go there that day.
Right. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Stand up. I can't hear. Ronnie Dixon's your cousin. Good. And Herbert Dixon is your cousin. Right? Now, I said Herbert Dixon is your cousin. Herbert's going to be an all-state football player this year. And he was the player of the year last year. Yes, sir.
Didn't you say that Ronnie was in professional basketball?
Football. XFL. One that's on TV now.
What number is he?
He was
What
number
team?
72. I'm not sure which team it is right now, the XFL, but we went to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania about 5 years ago and saw Jerris McPhail and Ronnie Dixon. Jerris was with the Miami Dolphins at that time, and Ronnie was with the Philadelphia Eagles.
You went to the live.
Yeah, we went to the game. They were both playing at the same time. Yes, sir. Jerris McPhail's your uncle? Is that what you said? Good for you. Jerris is a great guy. Yes, ma'am. Little criminal, I don't do criminal cases. It's done on a percentage for automobile accidents. Criminal cases are set fees, or either you pay your lawyer individually. Sometimes the state of North Carolina, if you cannot afford an attorney, they will pay an attorney for you. And it may range from $150 up. It depends on how serious the crime is. It could be as much as several thousands of dollars. Depends on how much time you have. Yes, sir. Yeah. I would have loved to have been like Coach Squibb over there and been a basketball coach. Sure would have. I'd have enjoyed it. Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I am 57 years old.
That's all right.
Ask Miss Stacy how old she is. All right. I shouldn't have said that. Just a minute.
Do you still have that trampoline at your house?
He asked if I still had the trampoline. No, I do not. We moved to a new house. And we... Jerris McPhail's your cousin? Very good. Very good. Yes, ma'am.
Do you regret that you didn't become a basketball coach?
No. I would have enjoyed it, but I don't have any regrets about being an attorney. Yes, ma'am. I can't hear you. Jerris was probably in the recreation league. I'm not sure whether Jerris played in the recreation league or not, but they could start playing football at 5 and 6 years old here. And I just don't remember. Coach Squibb might remember, but I don't remember. First time I ever met Jerris, he was in the 9th grade. Yes, sir.
What did he say?
How old is my wife? My wife is 50. Just a minute. All right, we're going to take about 2 more questions, then we're going to have to go, okay? Yes, sir.
Do you have the same lawyer, the same attorney? Sometimes somebody, somebody help you out in cases, do you have the same person?
We have, there are 3 attorneys in our law firm, and we have 9 support people.
Do you have the same person every time?
Yes. We have an investigator and 8 secretaries. There's somebody back over here had a question? Yes, ma'am. Or sir. Son is 21. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, this is the last question.
How long do you have to stay in college before the law?
4 years in college and then 3 years and 3 months in law school. The more education you get, the more money you will make in your life. Work hard now. You took the oath for me now, okay? Treat these teachers good. Listen.
As a fifth grade cardinal leader, I would like to thank lawyer Dale Johnson for coming to Butler Avenue. We would like to thank lawyer Johnson for taking time out of his busy schedule. We know that Mr. Johnson is a great supporter to our youth in the city of Clinton. Please feel free to come see us again.
Thank you very much.